happen if Marco Rubio or if Hillary Clinton become president, that the United States will find herself at war with Iran, will find herself at war with Russia, with China. And I believe that that Trump is the point man in a very sophisticated game here to make sure that another neocon is not elected to the United States presidency. We can go into that later if you want. I have a theory about this, about Trump's, the things that he has said, but it's obvious, if you follow the news here in the United States, that the Jews on both the right and the left do not want Trump in as president.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. And Michal, anything to add?
Well, I would disagree with Rubio is the GOP's establishment, as in the Republican Party leadership's favorite candidate, and he may even be Sheldon Adelson, a far right Zionist fascist. Let's not beat about the bush. He is, but with Goldman Sachs, if they've picked Cruz over Rubio, it must be for a reason, and basically that reason is it will make Milikowski, Likud, CAC party elements and Kahanist elements happy, and that is the reason for it. But on Trump has promised AIPAC to be a friend of Israel, so I don't see the Zionist fear of an authoritarian plutocrat in America, in DC, especially since he has donated so much to the Democratic Party, which is another puppet of Likud and the Israeli right. But the issue I would have with both left and right is they're both sliding further to the right on the political spectrum. Trump, Rubio, Cruz, Bush, Clinton, Sanders, those are the two main parties. All of them are Zionists. All of them have spoken to AIPAC. And Gary Johnson, the Libertarian Party candidate, that's a smaller right-wing party, which is not as far right as the mainstream GOP. He's pro-Zionist, and the Party for Socialist Liberation on the left, they're never going to get in, but both La Riva, the presidential candidate, and her running mate, Eugene Puryear, are both pro-Palestine. So it tells you everything that the Party of Socialist Liberation are just basically whitewashed from the news, whereas the Libertarians will get minimal coverage, but the Democrats and the GOP basically blue donkeys and red elephants everywhere. That is basically what the news media is. It's a mouthpiece for corporate America. Basically, on that, Obama was a corporate puppet as well. See his signature policy, the Affordable Care Act. Basically, it was a rip-off of Romney Care in Massachusetts, which itself was a rip-off of Clinton Care, first pioneered by Hillary Clinton. And basically, on that, 5 private insurance companies in a cartel made billions from government-mandated private insurance, and they were United Health, Aetna, Cigna, Humana, and Anthem. And basically, Obama is a corporate puppet. W. Bush was a corporate puppet. Clinton was a corporate puppet, and basically H.W. Bush, Reagan. We could be here all day. You get message, and basically every president has been a corporate puppet, as Mark identified earlier. But basically, the left wing of American politics is moving further to the right, which is making the Republican Party move further to the right. They appease small state or small government conservatives, and the manifestation of this
Thank you so
is
very
the
much,
Tea
Michal.
Party, who, if you've been following events recently, through many of their members, through their support behind the Bundys, while they took over a federal bird sanctuary, which was ironically opened by a Republican president to start with, as a protest against the Democrats and Obama.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, shall we go to the next question? Okay, you might have answered a part of the
Well,
next question, so I'm going to ask you, please skip the repetition as you wish. The next question is, what were the advantages, if there was any, and disadvantages of Obama's government? Do you see any advantages in the presidency
Well,
of Obama?
honestly, are you asking me or Mark?
You can answer, Michal.
Well, basically, I've heard Obama so many times denigrated as a communist and a socialist. And as people may know, I'm an Irish Republican, and basically part of that ideology is communism and socialism. And I just don't see it from Obama. I don't see it from Sanders either, even though people are using that as a smear against him. Neither of those want the working class to control and own the means of production. So this communism and socialism of Obama and the Democratic Party, I just don't see it. And let me show you. His only success, well, education investment, but that was only after the disastrous privatization through No Child Left Behind by George Bush.
Mm-hmm.
And on immigration reform, this is what the American left deliver. They didn't deliver. He deported more people than any regime in history. It was, I've seen figures of 400,000, 500,000. Who knows how many he did? And 48 million people live below the poverty line in America. That happened under Obama's presidency, not Bush's. And the bottom 80% of Americans earners income, the bottom 80% decreased, while the top 20% of American earners' incomes increased over Obama's presidency. And another thing, I know I really shouldn't, because they have gone so far right so many times since Bill Clinton, Al Gore, and that club got in. But I do have a soft spot for the American Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
And basically, on another, basically half of Obama's votes in the elections came from pro-life Democrats. His pro-choice salary led to the lowest Democrat numbers since the Hoover administration. He basically only won legislature in the old Confederate states, now belong to the Democrats, and that's only 5 seats away from going to the Republican Party in the next election. And basically, altogether, he has lost 912 Democratic legislative seats for his party. And basically, there's about 45 million people in the American Democratic Party. 21 million of them are pro-life, and he is basically bit the hand